I had never seen anything quite like this other than I've seen manatees and I know what they look like. And this was similar in color to a manatee, but it was much different from the head structure. The eyes had big eyes, big nostril holes on the top. It had fins that were, pectoral fins that were thick and stuck out. And it zoomed across the water very quick, not like a manatee.
Like that.
Dr. Ed Patuk's analysis of the video of the creature is focusing on one frame in particular, and he makes a possible discovery.
That's the perfect proportions to the thing, head, tail. It's a seal of some kind.
Seals were once native to Florida, but there are no longer any known warm water seal populations. Dr. Patuk has a theory to explain that. He thinks these may not be warm water seals.
And we get all kinds of weird animals coming here all the time.
The most recent example was an Arctic bearded seal that was rescued from the Tarpon River in a residential neighborhood of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Other Arctic seals, like the hooded seal, are now being found as far south as the Canary Islands. If they are following the Gulf Stream, as some experts believe, their first opportunity at landfall would put them in this area.
It's the closest point to the Gulf Stream to land. And it'd be logical if they were hooded seals heading south, that they would just follow the Gulf Stream right in. As the ice sheets are retreating northward, you're finding things from the south that are sort of moving farther north, things from the north that are moving farther south. And apparently, much to my surprise, these hooded seals seem to be very, very adaptable, which you never expect for a creature that lives on ice floes and feeds at 1,000 feet below sea level.
Hooded seals are a dark gray-black color and grow to be about 9 feet long and 900 pounds.
The head was exactly that of a female hooded seal. The males have this great big red bladder that sticks up. That's why they're called hooded seals. They use it as display, sexually or, for rivals, this type of thing.
The sour-wine creature does not appear to have large whiskers like a seal does, although both animals have nostrils at the end of the long snout. Both have front flippers. But while the seal has a split tail, it is nothing like the sour-wine creature's unusual trident tail.
That's elongated, very odd. And see, the seals, if it's a seal, they wouldn't have that kind of a tail. They would have the fused flippers, essentially, in the back, with joints.
It could be, at least some of the animals shown on the tape, could be something that we wouldn't expect to see here.
Florida cryptozoologist Scott Marlowe has reviewed the tapes himself and has come up with yet another theory. He thinks it is a creature thought to be extinct.
That would be a major find.
He believes that they are Caribbean monk seals, which were all but eliminated by the end of the 19th century.
That's why they're so easy to kill. They used them for oil, actually, for oil lamps. And also sealskin. They use it for sealskin jackets and waterproofing. The monk seals used this coastline a lot. But of course, as soon as people came in, they disappeared.
The last monk seal sighting was near Jamaica in 1952, although they weren't officially declared extinct until June of 2008. Proving their existence would rewrite history.
If it turned out to be a monk seal, it would be enormous news.
If these really are seals, an animal that should not be here, then they should be readily visible. Seals are creatures that require both salt and fresh water. They would need to travel the same narrow channel that connects the lake to the sea that is used daily by dozens, sometimes hundreds of boaters. Monk seals grew to nearly 8 feet long and 400 pounds, smaller than the estimated size of the creature recorded on the tape.
But remember, we haven't seen these things for over 50 years, so we don't know what may have happened in that 50-year span, and that would be probably about 3 or 4 generations. So a lot of things can happen in a very short period of time, as biologists are finding out. Certain types of adaptation, when nature has a void, can be filled very rapidly.
My theory is that they come and go through these underground passages and zip in and zip out, and no one sees them.
Much of Florida is connected by an extensive network of freshwater springs and underground rivers called a karst system. Over time, flowing water dissolves limestone, creating sinkholes, caves, and underground drainage systems that can link diverse bodies of water. The Monster Quest dive team will explore the lake bottom to see if it conceals such a passageway, one that would allow the creatures to infiltrate from the sea without being seen.
Topside, I'm coming up on something and I hope it's Space Diver.
A large, unknown animal may very well stalk these murky waters.
Got a hard target at 120 feet, and it's between 10 and 13 feet in length.
We have a sonar hit at our 10 o'clock, about 120 feet.
Target 23 yards down, closing.
This thing's moving quick.
Monster Quest is combing the murky waters of Florida for an unknown monster. They are searching for the creature and trying to find an underwater passageway to explain how the creature might be appearing undetected in various areas.
Start swimming, and as soon as you start moving, we'll be able to give you a vector.
Topside, bottom terrain in this area has changed. Bottom is filthy. Thick mud, over. Mud, over.
Just as they are about to give up the search, the sonar reveals a drop-off in the underwater terrain.
He's about to swim over a sinkhole that I want him to check out.
If you can look directly below you, you should have a target.
There's a deformity in the bottom.
Picking up stuff here on my handheld, but it's not moving targets. I think it's just bottom structure.
Topside copies.
The dive team decides to make one last effort to find an underwater passageway before sunset. Gene Sauerwein sees a large bubble rising to the surface. He believes the creature is a mammal, as he often sees it surface quickly to breathe.
Yeah, just be informed, we had a big boil come up right in front of our bow. I'm not sure how long it would take you to reach it from there.
Copy, I have a hard target 7 yards out.
Copy, you're saying you have a hard target 7 yards out?
Dale Pearson approaches the target. He gets a brief but disappointing glimpse. He cannot make it out.
Topside copies.
They are quickly losing daylight. The expedition team will search one last spot where Sauerwein has recently seen animals congregate.
All right, Captain, let's go over. We'll take a look at the inlet coming in. We'll make one pass through there, see if we can pick up something on sonar, and then we'll call it.
The divers didn't find an underwater passage, but there is a man-made channel in the vicinity between the ocean and the lake. It's 60 feet deep and very turbulent, deep enough for even a large animal to pass undetected. This is the most likely place for a large sea creature to enter the lake. The best evidence continues to be the video, which some who have seen it believe shows some kind of hybrid creature, part manatee and part seal.
A manatee, which is a Sirenian, couldn't mate with a seal, a pinniped. They come from different evolutionary lines, and the genetic makeup of the animals is so different that they could not possibly produce offspring.
It is possible, however, for certain types of seals to mate. But Dr. Patuk thinks there may be more at work here than simple interbreeding of species.
Every population of animals has variability within it, and there could be variants of hooded seals up north that can tolerate warmer water. That variable population would wind up in the tropics. And if there was a break, ultimately you would find that you'd have a tropical seal group and an Arctic seal group, and they would probably go off as different species. So that's the way evolution takes place.
However, no known seal has the unique trident tail.
It could have been an injured animal, an injured seal in this case, but again, that's a mysterious thing.
Still no contact.
The expedition team has decided to try one last location.
Base, I got you on my sonar. You're 20 yards from my position. Hold your position and I'm coming in. Come here, leader.
Lead diver from topside, be advised we're still actively searching.
Roger, lead diver copy, topside still searching. Base diver, you're 10 yards out from my position. Hold your position, I'm closing. Copy that. There you are, now I see you. Yeah, it's a mud puddle here, bro. Topside, be advised, visibility conditions are 0 to 3 feet. We have no visual on any targets and are completely relying on sonar, over.
Topside copies that transmission.
Something suddenly appears on the sonar, and it's closing in, fast.
I've got a hard target at 10 o'clock at 120 feet, and it's between 10 and 13 feet in length.
We have a sonar hit at our 10 o'clock, about 120 feet. This thing's moving quick.
Target is moving very rapidly from our left to right.
Lead diver from topside.
Lead diver.
Yeah, be advised, this thing's moving quick. It's coming toward us.
Roger, lead diver copy, target is moving. Base diver in position? Base diver's in position.
We're tracking the target moving towards our bow.
Coordinates?
From his position, it was heading about 90 degrees to his left, and it was moving pretty quick.
To your left, and this was moving fast.
All right, we're going to try to acquire target on handheld sonar.
90 degrees to the port.
Yeah, go ahead and hold your current position.
The visibility in this location is less than 2 inches, and the divers are easily disoriented. They must be face to face with something to have any chance of seeing it.
Yeah, copy. Be advised, we're doing a 360 search on this one.
At least we know something's in the area. Go ahead and keep searching, and we'll keep searching too, over.
Copy.
Copy that.
The divers were unable to sight the beast, but the sonar picked up something 14 feet long and fast.
Sonar at this time, it's just moving too fast. I can't keep up with it.
Target is out, no contact. Target's gone.
Hey, Dale. I'm gonna cut
The poor water conditions and the speed of the creature make it almost impossible to get a good look at whatever is swimming around them. The best picture of the creature may come from the animators, who are taking all the clear details from the Sourwine video to create a composited creature.
Okay, well, so show me what you have.
Okay, well, based on the information we have, we managed to change fins a little bit closer to the artist's rendition.
Yeah, but I think that is correct one.
We've also managed to texture it, and the animation is finalized, so.
The finished composite will be sent to marine biologists to see if it matches any known animal, living or extinct. And the man who has seen the creatures for years in just fleeting glimpses will finally see the creature fully revealed for the first time.
Wow, it's actually pretty accurate. It's actually very accurate from what I saw.
Monster Quest has traveled to Florida to investigate legendary stories of a sea monster with a forked tail. But no one has ever offered proof until now. This man believes he has videotape evidence of a real sea monster living in Florida waters today. This man believes the footage shows creatures thought to be extinct, and this marine biologist thinks it may be something still unknown, while this expert thinks she knows exactly what it is.
Right here. So,
The expedition team finally pinged something with their sonar that was about the size of the creature.
The fact that we're trying to sneak up on this thing in zero visibility conditions, get right up in its face and surprise it basically, had me kind of double thinking what I was doing.
But the murky water conditions made it impossible to find the creature.
It makes perfect sense that people aren't seeing it. There's zero visibility in the water. People that are out there aren't necessarily looking to see this type of thing. So, you know, what they say that some of the hardest things to find are right in front of your face.
The most compelling evidence remains the original Sourwine footage that reveals just bits and pieces of the creatures. A team of forensic animators has been enlisted to get a more complete picture of this beast. They have been working for weeks, studying the tapes and making drawings to painstakingly create an animated version. Now the artists are ready to unveil their beast. The animation reveals a large creature 10 to 15 feet long. All the strange features from the tapes are there, many of them similar to the features seen in old drawings of sea monsters. The seal-like head with its pronounced brow and deep-set eyes, the long, narrow snout, the protruding lower jaw, and at the other end, the distinctive trident tail.
Cool, I like this. In fact, that is pretty similar to the one time I did actually see this creature with good sunlight, clear water. I saw it just swimming through the water for a few feet. It's actually pretty accurate. It's actually very accurate from what I saw.
Martina DeWitt believes the animals in the video are manatees.
If I look at the animation, this animal definitely has features of a manatee. And if I have to think of any animal that is out there in Florida that looks like the image that we're here looking at, I say it's a manatee.
However, the manatee has a large rounded fluke or tail, unlike the trident tail caught on tape. But Dr. DeWitt has a possible explanation.
Every manatee in Florida will get hit by a boat at some point.
Thousands of manatees are hit by boats yearly and bear the scars of being cut by propellers. Dr. DeWitt is certain that's the cause of the distinctive trident tail on the sour wine creature.
Yeah, probably some part of the fluke was completely cut off and the remainder of the tissue that was still viable healed and gave it this mutilated shape. Sometimes if the propeller goes all the way through the fluke and turns around, you'll see that the fluke can be divided into finger shapes, and that would explain the shape that I see in the fluke of this animal.
So many manatees are hit that known breeding areas are marked to caution boaters.
These will get killed when they are hit by a boat. And that's not only by the cut of a propeller, it can also be purely the impact with the vessel that can be fatal for them.
Collisions with boats and props leave behind distinct marks that researchers have used to their advantage.
We can identify these animals by their unique scar patterns and features on the animals.
The Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission catalogs images of damaged manatees for tracking purposes and has a database containing 2,000 images.
If you look at this one, you can see that they're very uniform. There's also lots of other examples of scar patterns having a very uniform appearance. It's actually pretty common.
The Monster Quest science team asked Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission researchers to see if the tail can be matched. Of the 2,000 images they have on file, nothing in the database is similar. If this is an injured manatee, it is one researchers have not seen before.
And it's quite
Upon
striking.
viewing the animation, biologist Dr. Peter Sorensen agrees with Dr. DeWitt.
And this all is highly supportive of the idea that this is a mammal of some kind, and of course the manatee hypothesis.
Dr. Edward Patook disagrees, believing sour wine's footage likely caught two species, seals and manatees, coexisting in the same waters.
They're mutually exclusive. Manatees are vegetarians. The seals are carnivores. They're chasing after fish, things like that, squid. So they just ignore each other, really. They're not competing, and they don't bother each other generally. If this thing does exist like this, this would be one of the greatest discoveries of all time. A totally new kind of animal.
There's been a number of different things that have been discovered recently that were thought to be extinct that were still around. So I think that's really the most likely scenario.
This Monster Quest expedition has revealed some startling conclusions. The footage has been found to be authentic, and sonar confirms there are large creatures in the same waters. The divers have determined that sea creatures likely access the lake along a man-made waterway. and a composite creature created by forensic animators allowed experts to conclude that the animal in these waters may be both seals and manatees existing in the same waters.
We were able to actually locate the target that we set out to find. We did find it. We were tracking it. It was just a matter of we weren't able to close on the target and actually acquire it on video, which was unfortunate because I really wanted to find out what this thing was.
I know the sea life so well, and I've spent so much time on the water, I knew what I saw wasn't any known species.
I thought Gene was crazy at first when he started telling me about it. I really thought he had lost his mind. But, you know, they were there, so the truth is in the pictures and the videos, so take it from there. I mean, whatever it is, it is. I'm not sure what it is, but it's there.
There is always a possibility of discovering new species. I mean, that happens all over the world. I just wouldn't expect it in Florida. The Florida waters are highly populated. Lots of people are out on the waters every single day.
Most of the time we spend our time trying to ferret through the known zoological species to answer a riddle, and we come up with an answer. 90% of the time it's an animal that we know. Once in a blue moon, it's something that we don't know about, and that makes it exciting.
We could be watching right now evolution taking place with a new group of seals starting to make their first footprint into a new world.